Hello, fabulous first graders. How are you guys today? I hope you are doing amazing and have been enjoying this fabulous weather we've been having. I'm Mrs. Davison, and I appreciate you joining me again today. Let's see who's here with us. Oh, there we go. There's our fabulous first graders. At Riverview, we've got Mrs. Smith's class, Mrs. Livadores, Ms. Gressocks, and Miss Flicks. Hi, guys. Thanks for being here. And over here, there's the Mullen crew. We've got Mrs. Gordy's class, Mrs. Snyder's class, and then we've got Mrs. Davison, Mrs. Chusky, and Mrs. Knight's class. Hi, guys. Thanks for being here. We are so thrilled you joined us. So last week we were talking about some words. We were talking about these words, facts and details. Do you remember? And this is the chart from last week, and I just kind of wanted to go over it with you. That's what we're going to be learning about a little more today, are facts and details. And I know last week we learned about them and we used a picture to kind of help us understand. Today we're actually going to take facts and details and we're going to use them not in a picture, but in a writing piece. So stay tuned. It's going to get a little crazy. So if you remember, we learned that authors use facts and details in their writing. And guys, when they do that to give you information and to communicate to you about whatever they're talking about, whatever the topic is. Now, if you remember, facts can be proven true, and they give us information about something. And we know that from when we've learned about fact and opinion. So facts are something that's proven to be true. But those details, that's the new word we learned about last week, they give us more information about the facts. So I thought it might be cool this week. I was thinking about all different things we could talk about. And first I thought, we could focus on Riverview School. But then I said, wait a minute. Not everyone goes to Riverview School. What about those kids that go to Mullen School? So I came up with something that you all might know a little bit about to help teach these important skills right now. And that was Tonawanda. So I made a chart here, facts and details about your fabulous community, Tonawanda. And if you notice up here, I've got those words again. I've got facts, I've got details, and there in orange is that word Tonawanda. Now, I chose to make kind of a graphic organizer so I could keep my thoughts straight about Tonawanda. So I'm going to go through and I just kind of want to go over some things with you. So maybe right now, think about everything you know about Tonawanda. And I wonder if any of the things that I've written down are going to be things that you knew. Here we go. So in the middle of our chart, I've got the word Tonawanda. So everything else in this chart is going to be about, Tonawanda. Good, guys. You'll also notice these lines. These lines lead up to something. In blue on the chart, you're going to see the facts about Tonawanda. And I chose 1, 2, 3, 4 facts to share with you about Tonawanda. Are you ready? And then I'm going to go over the details with you as well. So first of all, let's look over here at our first fact. Our first fact is that Tonawanda has waterways. Now you might be saying, Mrs. Davison, what's a waterway? Well, really, guys, if you think about it, waterways are just places where you can maybe travel by a boat or maybe swim or fish. And Tonawanda has lots of those. Some details that go into that, details that help support that fact that Tonawanda has waterways, is that we have the Erie Canal right in Tonawanda. We have the Niagara River in Tonawanda, and also Tonawanda Creek. So right there was our big topic we were brainstorming about. And here was the first fact. Tonawanda has waterways. Well, if I want to give more information about that fact that Tonawanda has waterways, I would simply list, the Erie Canal, the Niagara River, and Tonawanda Creek. Those are all waterways that are found in Tonawanda. Okay, let's go over here. I like this fact. My next fact about Tonawanda was that Tonawanda has several different schools. That's a fact. Can we prove it, guys? Sure, we could drive around the city of Tonawanda and look at the signs in front of each school and read the different names. You might have a brother or sister that goes to a different school than you do. So this is easy to prove that Tonawanda has several different schools. Here are our details about those schools. Wow, our details that are going to be giving us more information about that fact are Tonawanda has Mullen School and Riverview and Fletcher. It has the middle school and it has the high school. Whoa, so I had my fact, which was proof. It could be proven true. And then I had my supporting details. And these details really help to give more information. Oh, you guys with me so far? I know I'm talking kind of quickly, aren't I? Well, those are my first two facts about Tonawanda and the details. Let's check out, I think this one might be my favorite. The next fact that I chose to write about was that Tonawanda has many restaurants. They sure do. And so I could prove that. How could you prove that Tonawanda has many restaurants, guys? What could you do? You're right, you can drive around, you can look at menus. If you still had a phone book, you might be able to look at that, or even look online for Tonawanda restaurants. And these are my details to prove my fact true, or to tell more information about my fact. I said that Tonawanda has Touch of Italy, Mississippi Muds, John's, McDonald's, Wendy's, and Texas Roadhouse. And that's not even all the restaurants Tonawanda has, guys. It has a lot more. Have you ever been to any of those? I think I've been to all of them. It's true. So, wow. So we've got the first fact in blue, the second fact in blue, and the details in green, the third fact in blue, and the details in green. And finally, we're going to go to our last fact. The last fact is that Tonawanda is a community. Now, if you remember kindergarten and maybe some of first grade, we talked about how communities are full of people and people are doing different things within that community. And look at, here are my details to prove my fact and to add more detail. People live there, people work there, people play there, and people help each other there. Whoa. So this is just one way that I like to organize my thoughts when I'm thinking about facts and details. Because I know if I just give someone a fact, they might have a hard time understanding something. But if I give them a fact and then I give them lots of details about that fact, it'll help to paint a picture in their head. So what I did next was I took all this information on this chart, all these facts and all the details, and I decided to write about Tonawanda using these facts and these details. And guess what, guys? You're going to be learning to do that in second grade, where you'll be given a fact or you'll have to write about a fact and then kind of support it with different details. So I want to tell you and I want to show you the chart that I made today about Tonawanda. And as I read this chart, I want you to listen for all of those things that we learned back on the other chart and see if you hear them. Because what I did was I took those little bullet points, they're not sentences, you could see, and I made them into sentences because that's what good writers do. And I tried to tell a story. So you let me know how I did, okay? I'm going to go over here and I'm going to let you look at it first. As you're looking, I'm going to start to read, and I bet some of you could actually even read this. That's how smart you people are. Seriously, I bet a lot of you can read this. Before I do, though, remember you're listening for those facts that I mentioned and the details that support it. Are you ready? Here we go. Tonawanda is a wonderful community with so much to offer. It has many waterways like the Niagara River, the Erie Canal, and Tonawanda Creek. The schools are great. Your child could go to Mullen, Riverview, Fletcher, the middle school, or high school. Tonawanda is filled with yummy restaurants. The best are Touch of Italy, Mississippi Muds, John's, McDonald's, Wendy's, and Texas Roadhouse. Tonawanda is such a lovely community. People live, work, and play together. Tonawanda is the best. Did you hear how in each sentence I presented a fact and then I wrote details about it? And I didn't just say, has a waterway, Erie Canal, Niagara River, Tonawanda Creek. That wouldn't make sense. I used other words to make it make sense and to make it tell a story. And I know it might be hard for you to see, but I also underlined in yellow those facts. And the first fact was right here. It has many waterways. That was my fact, and that was my fact over here. My details came after my fact, like the Niagara River, the Erie Canal, and Tonawanda Creek. And look at, there were my details right there. All I did was put them into a sentence. Oh my gosh, check this out. So the next fact I chose and underlined in yellow was the schools are great. If you look over here, that was my second fact. But again, I put it into a sentence. I used an uppercase letter, finger spacing, and punctuation. And then I added those details. I added all the schools in Tonawanda. Then if you remember on our chart, we talked about the restaurants, right? And over here, look at this. There's my fact. Tonawanda is filled with yummy restaurants. There's my details. It lists just a few of them. And in the writing that I did, it tells that the best are Touch of Italy, Mississippi Muds, John's, McDonald's, Wendy's, and Texas Roadhouse. And finally, my last fact was Tonawanda is a community. And then I listed all the details telling why. Well, look what I did here. I put down my fact, Tonawanda is a lovely community. And then below that are my details. People live there, they work there, and they play together there. So I just wanted to show you that facts and details are really important to authors, but they're also really important to writers, because good writers don't just state a fact. They talk about details. They give more information. And that information is what makes writing come alive and makes it amazing. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you understood, and I hope you're having a great day at home. Tune in a little later. I'm going to read a book that has facts and details in it. And as I read it, I'm going to want you to see if you can actually figure out what the facts are and then how the author supported with details. All right, fabulous first graders. Thanks so much for being here and for listening, and have a great day. Bye, guys.